Go. We live. Yep. Nice. Go live. Where's that? I need to flip this screen. Camera. There we go. Docs. Aha. What is this? Chat. Okay, I don't know what that is. All right. What's going on, y'all? Making sure everything's set up here. I think everything's set up. Is this live? Live chat. Oh, well, this is not pulling in. Okay, well, I got it up now. Hood Master, hello, Hood Professor. Sparsh, you are hilarious. The Brotherhood, oh, that's good. That's a good one. Yo, where are we at with Bitcoin? What's up, Pop Lava? How are you, Adri? What's going on? I'm doing good today. A little tired today. I'm not gonna lie, a little tired today, but we're doing good. How are you? What's up, Ahmed? How are you? Tesla? Yeah, we can jump into Tesla for sure. Tesla for sure. We gotta start with Hood. We gotta start with Hood because Sparsh is in the chat. And what's up, Matt? How are you? Hell yeah. Yeah, let me flip the screen here. Let's dive into some Discord. Gotta check it out. Yeah, I just got that set up too. So for anyone that is, I'm still working through everything on it right now. I only have the general chat channel set up, so I'm working on getting some other channels set up on Discord, but that is live now, so I'm happy about that. I had some time today to get that built out and done, so happy about that. But yeah, Hood looks really good. I mean, Bitcoin, again, I was talking about on my video the other day, I did think we would see a bounce somewhere between like 70 to 73, which we had this big bounce up to the 0.5. We're kind of seeing a reaction off of it. I was somewhat anticipating, some type of A wave, B wave, C wave. We'll see how this thing develops. Obviously, the market was reacting to Trump's tweet today. It's kind of like the tariff shit all over again. It's like, one tweet sends the market up, another tweet sends the market down. So for me, I'm just being patient and waiting for things to play out. Can you do Microsoft? Yeah, we can do Microsoft. So that's basically it on Bitcoin. Like, there's really not a lot going on right now with it. We're still just in this choppy 4, meaning this 4 right here, this just choppy wave 4, and then we're just waiting for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. That's really all that's going on with Bitcoin. Obviously, we pumped up today off of talks being, or at least talks, things are going to potentially, maybe ceasefire or whatever, but that is probably why the market's reacting the way it's reacting. Do you expect Bitcoin comes and retests 69.5K before a new move? I mean, if you look at it on the 2-hour, it's hard to tell. Like, even if you dive down to the 2-hour time frame, you can see these waves a little bit easier. Like, for me, this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then we almost have this sort of ABC type structure, and then maybe we get an ABC down and then an ABC up to complete this larger ABC. But it's possible. I don't really short-term trade it, is the thing. Like, I don't like to short trade Bitcoin just because it's for me, it's more of a long-term asset, so I don't really look to capitalize on 5 or 10% pumps. For me, it's just about adding a deep dollar cost average zones and accumulating a spot value. That's kind of how I treat Bitcoin. I'm kind of leaning that way now with Ethereum, so I might adjust my strategy as opposed to selling or maybe taking some profits at the wave 3 top. I might just look to add more, honestly, because Ethereum looks to be kind of solidifying itself as a long-term hold. Hood looks really good too. My next target on Hood's $63, and then once that gets hit, I thought I had the paintbrush. I have a low for 63 and then a pump up for Robinhood. I might actually add this. The ones that I was looking to add was MicroStrategy, just due to the risk to reward, and then I added Neo to my portfolio. I liked Neo just based on the risk to reward was really good, but Hood from a structure standpoint looks really good. I mean, we have a really clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why Hood is not doing anything? It's just like stuck. Yeah, it's still in its corrective too, which oftentimes it takes time to kind of complete that structure. But once we get a downwave move, then for me the next move is up, and my next target's on, I think we're like 300, I want to say. So if we get 63, which is kind of what I'm eyeing, is 63. Yeah, 300, right at 300 was my next target. So that's a nice, 4 or 5x on Robinhood, which I might add that to my portfolio as well. The financials look, or just like the fundamentals look really good on it too. Yeah, Hood should do very well in this next wave up. Let's see, Tesla. I don't even know if I've ever looked at Tesla on stream, so we can look at Tesla today. I want to go to the 3-month chart and see what it looks like. I mean, on the 3-month, on this, so this is the 3-month candles. This is like a really long time horizon, but it almost looks like we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're kind of in the 5th leg on Tesla. Hi Nick, hope you had a good day. What do you think about SBET? I actually like, from a Ethereum beta play, SBET and BMNR. I think both are going to outperform pretty significantly once Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything else kind of bottoms. I do think that SBET outperforms. I might add either SBET or BMNR to my portfolio. I'll look at both charts. We can look at both charts today. They're kind of similar, honestly. The risk to reward looks pretty good on both of them, but I think once Ethereum starts cooking, that thing's going to outperform. Similar to like MicroStrategy, when Bitcoin cooks, MicroStrategy outperforms. But on Tesla, you can kind of see it here. It's almost like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move on Tesla to the upside. Then we had a correction, and then we're kind of entering this next phase here. I'm curious if we've already hit it. So my next target on Tesla would be 600. But I want to dive into this structure a little bit more because it doesn't necessarily look as clean as I would like it to. But it looks like we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4 pullback, and then we're entering a wave 5. If we go to the weekly time frame on Tesla, let me zoom in on this here. Yeah, I mean, this looks like an ABC structure because it just looks like a 3-wave move. We have a move up, move down, then move up. So that isn't an impulse. Then we have this correction. I would say the first start of the impulse is probably here. This wave 1, 2, 3, like a mini 4, and then a final 5. Then you have this correction here. But this move up it almost looks like an ABC up with an ABC down. But this could be a wave 1, wave 2, with a wave 3, with a wave 4, and then you get this wave. Well, actually, wait, does that overlap? Well, it overlaps, so that can't count. But as far as the next target on Tesla, I would go here to here. The next target on Tesla would be at 600. That, for me, would be the wave 5 target, given the larger monthly time frame sort of structure right here. We have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then we're in the 5th. But so far, it looks like we've had an impulse of wave 1 on Tesla. The only place that I can find it on the weekly chart is this structure right here. It looks like we have a 1, then this ABC2, then this 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, wait. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, move up 3. So this can't be a 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So it can't be that. This could be an ABC, ABC, and then you finally get the impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then this wave 2 pulls down lower than this wave, so that's not ideal. Let's go back to the monthly. Yeah, I mean, this structure just looks very choppy. Like, we have this sort of A, B, C down, A, B, C up, A, B, C here, and well, this is kind of an impulse. So 1, 2, 3, but then the 4 almost enters the territory of wave 5. I mean, the next target on it on a larger time frame, if you go to the 3-month, is 600. So I would have to really, analyze every single wave count. But for me, the next target is between like 600 to 726 at the 1.618 or 2. So that would be my next target. This would be the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and then the 5. And then after this, we'll have an ABC pullback. Is sort of what's next for Tesla. Let me see here. Wait. I missed all these comments. Hold on one second. I'm new to trading. This is super unrelated, but would you be willing to check out JAGU? Is that a stock or a crypto? JAGU? Jaguar Uranium, I'm assuming. Am I looking at Jaguar Uranium? Is that the one that I'm looking at? Because I just see a straight line down. Unless there's a different JAGU. I mean, that's the only one that I'm seeing here. Yeah, that's with this one. Just there's not enough price action to go off of. It's just straight down. There's really not enough. I mean, it looks like it had its IPO in February, so this would be too early to tell. That'd be too early to tell. Let me see. MSTR. I like. Can you do SPY? Yeah, we could do SPY. SPY's pretty clean, I will say, as far as SPY is concerned. Like, it has a really good structure to it. Give me one second. Let me put this in a frame. And then I want to look at BMNR and SBET too, because those are ones that I might want to add to my portfolio. But like, you can see it, like, if you were to look at this chart and you wouldn't even know Elliott Wave Theory, you could see it really clean, right? This wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Basically, you're just looking for a push up, a decline, a push up, a decline, a push up, and then we're kind of in the next decline now. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC is next. This wave 5 is so weird. Like, if you go to the smaller time frames on this 1 and 3, you can see 5 wave moves up. But on this wave 5, like, it just looks so weird. Like, on the monthly, it looks good, but on this, it just looks like one big banana. Like, there's really... It's kind of hard to determine, like, this is the 1, 2, maybe the 3's here, 4's here, 5's here, and then you have this ABC type structure. But SPY just looks very weird. And on the larger time frame, it's more clear, but on the daily time frame, it just looks weird. But if you look at this from a target standpoint, we're currently sitting at the 1.618, or that's where price is kind of topping, and that's typical for a wave 5 to top at the 1.618. The next targets for me on SPY, just because the risk to reward, like, is there a police officer driving through the street out there? On SPY, for example, the upside is very limited, but the downside outweighs. So the risk to reward on SPY right now favors a downside correction towards basically 562 to 480, between the 0.382 to the 0.618. That's sort of, this structure right here is what's next for SPY. At minimum 613, but the high probability is really between the 0.382 and the 0.5 for SPY. There could be a little bit more upside to SPY, but it's limited. It's right now, the higher probability is wait for the pullback, ABC, and then load up down here, and then wait for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. That is the higher probability scenario on SPY. MSTR, yeah, I love MSTR. I'm waiting for MSTR to get to my zone before I buy in. MSTR looks really good. I mean, we could push to 740 on SPY. I just, again, the upside's limited for me on SPY. Like, even at the 2, it's 740, so it is possible. that we have this and then we, maybe make one more push. But again, that the upside's limited comparison to the downside drop. So if I was looking to add SPY, like I would wait and then just wait. Even if we go up, it doesn't matter. We'll go up and then eventually we'll get an ABC. And on that bottom of the ABC, that's for me when I would look to add for a long-term hold. It just makes sense from a risk to reward standpoint. MSTR. MSTR is a really clean one too. So when you look at MSTR, this is actually one I'm looking to add to my portfolio. Just waiting for my zones to get hit. If it's hit, great. If not, it is what it is. But MSTR for me, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with this ABC pullback. Currently, we're sitting at about the 0.786 on the pullback. And for me, my next target on MSTR is I'm waiting for one more drop lower for this wave 5, basically. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. My next target on it is basically somewhere between like $100 to $75 in that range is where I'm going to be looking to add MSTR. So I'm waiting for one more dip, and then I'll start allocating some funds to MSTR. And then my next target on it is 961. So as price continues to go to make one more retrace down with Bitcoin, then I'll buy in and wait for the upside. Does MSTR go with Bitcoin? It does. I mean, they're definitely correlated, right? Like if Bitcoin goes down, typically MSTR goes down. They are they are like not directly correlated, but there is a high correlation between Bitcoin and MSTR. But it's not so much so that when Bitcoin hits, 100K, MSTR is going to be at this specific point. It's correlated, yes, but they're two separate markets and they're two separate charts, so they move differently. Where like you might be thinking, oh, if Bitcoin gets back to all-time high, MSTR should be up at this region. It's possible, or maybe MSTR is actually higher than the all-time high. So you just got to analyze both charts separately, but there is a high correlation for sure. What's high? My 961 is my next target on MSTR. So Bitcoin to 50K and MSTR to 80 to 100. Yeah, that's kind of my zone. So 60 to 50K for Bitcoin and then like $100 to $75 for MSTR. What price do you see for Bitcoin? I just see a little bit lower on Bitcoin. Bought a gazillion amount of SoFi. What's up, Drew? How are you? I'm waiting on MSTR. I'm gonna buy a significant amount of MSTR when that thing dips. I didn't add SoFi. The one that I would add is I added Neo. That was another one I picked up here. Was Neo had a nice bounce today, but Neo for me, my next target's 93. So this being the wave 1, the wave 2, and then the wave 3 is next. So I did pick up some Neo. It had a really nice bounce today. I think it was up like 7 or 8% today. So SoFi does have really good fundamentals. The Neo to me looks good. MSTR looks good. Hood looks good. SoFi does look pretty good too. I haven't checked SoFi in a bit. But I was waiting for this next, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up towards like $37 was my next target on SoFi. I do like BMNR as well and SBET. With this, we kind of have to wait. Like price is still consolidating on BMNR. We had this, massive impulse up and then sort of this really big correction down. So my next target based on this low back here was 269. So that's what? About a 10x, 11x from current prices, which that risk to reward looks really good on BMNR. And again, once Ethereum starts outperforming, BMNR is going to catch some of that upside. And then SBET's kind of the same thing. So obviously they're different charts, but they're very similar, right? We had this really big wave up with this ABC corrective down. For me on SBET, the next target would be somewhere around 200. So that's what about a 25x from current prices. So SBET looks pretty good too. like both SBET and BMNR look really good from a risk reward standpoint. I do think with Bitcoin pulling back one more time, Ethereum pulling back one more time, we'll probably see another, you know, maybe push lower for SBET and BMNR, and then we'll start, you know, off to the races up towards those targets. But I mean, MSTR outperformed really well when Bitcoin did its thing, and these are, you know, kind of the same sort of concept. So I would expect them to do very well as well. Yeah, we can do Microsoft and what was the other one? Apple. Yeah, we can do those. Microsoft and Apple. I don't know if we've looked at I don't know if there's anyone that has requested Microsoft. What is Microsoft again? I forget what the damn symbol is. PLTR. Yeah, we can do PLTR. Where's Microsoft? I always forget. Where it's probably right here. There it is. Microsoft. So let's look at these are the 3-month candles on Microsoft. So let's see. I mean, this thing has a lot of price history, so it's kind of easier to see. I mean, on a massive time frame, like these are again 3-month candles. It looks like on Microsoft, this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 1. Then you have this big pullback 2. And then it's not as clear on this, but if I go down to the monthly, I'm sure we can probably figure out what the count is. So you have this big pullback 2. Let me zoom in a little bit more. I need to see more of the movements. I mean, this thing just has such massive price action on it. So this is the pullback 2. Price is still kind of choppy. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 for a 3, and then a 4. And then let's look at the current wave 5 structure. This kind of overlaps, which is a pain in the ass. Let me go to the weekly. Yeah, it almost looks like we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 with this A wave, B wave, and then C wave. The only thing is, out of the 3 month, out of this whole correction, how much have we corrected already? So where did I draw before? 1, 2, oh yeah, right here. We're kind of we've retraced down to the 0.5, and then we're sitting here. And then does this go above? That's like right at it. Okay. Let me go to the weekly one more time. Yeah, because this doesn't look like an impulsive wave up. It almost looks like we have this A wave, B wave, C wave, then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. That would make sense. So there's probably a little bit more downside on Microsoft just based on this chart, but we do have a 5-wave move up here. So this was the wave up, and then we have this ABC structure. I do think there's more downside on Microsoft, and then after that, you know, say we correct a little bit more somewhere in this range, like 700 would be a next target for Microsoft. But even on the larger time frame, like these are, again, massive time frames. It looks like we have the 1, the 2, and then this is almost the 3, and then 4, 5. But again, like the price action just looks so interesting to me on Microsoft. I think this is the wave 3, this is the wave 4, and then we're currently in the wave 5. But this almost looks like a 1, 2, maybe a 1, 2. But on the weekly, it looks like we have 5 waves up on the weekly for Microsoft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this being the A wave, B wave, C wave. So there's probably more downside on Microsoft. Based on the structure, it does suggest there's a little bit more downside on Microsoft. Apple, yeah, we can do Apple. Let's see what Apple looks like. Let's clear this. Let's go Apple. I'm going to go 3-month time frame first. On Apple, let's see. All right, Apple doesn't have as much price action, so this is a little bit easier. This almost looks like a wave 1, a wave 2, and then we have this 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Okay, so this looks like a super extended wave. That's so interesting to me. So this looks like a 1 to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3. Wave 4. 1, 2. But then this price action's so funky up here too. Like there's no real impulses up here. Like yeah, you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then price is just like slowly grinding upwards. There's really not any impulsive waves up there, which is... It almost just looks like price is manipulated. Like it doesn't even look impulsive. But, I mean, Apple has some structure to it. I mean, you have the 1, the 2. This looks like the 3, the 4. And then the 5. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up for a wave 1. But then this is such a shallow pullback for a... I guess it's not too shallow. It's almost to the 0.5. What was that? 2013. So you had a little bit of a pullback there. I mean, you had a big pullback here, another big pullback. 1, 2... I mean, this is just a super extended wave on Apple. That's incredible how far this thing is just absolutely ripped. That's like a super extension of a wave. So, I mean, you can see it on the chart, right? Like, look at Apple. Like, look how far you had this initial, you know, wave 1, 2, and then you just have this super 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like this extended 5th. I mean, I would wait for a pullback on Apple, me personally. Can you look at FWDI Food Industries? It's a Solana treasury. Many things got in a little earlier into FWDI Ford Industries. It's a it's like a Ethereum treasury, but now staying. Yeah, we could look at that one. That'd be an interesting one. Start charging people $3 per chart and you'll be rich. Yeah, 100%. I try to do it for free, but there are so many chart requests in here. Sometimes it is hard to get to all of them. Joey said retracements are not deep enough to be a 5 wave up. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, look at Apple. It just looks like just straight up, you know, right? Like you had this clear wave 1 and 2. This looks like a super extended 3. Then we should get a pullback 4 and then a 5. Like that's honestly what it looks like. Let's go to even a higher time frame on this. Let's go to the 6 month. Maybe that'll be more clear. Because sometimes when you have so much price action, it can like confuse things. So this is the 6 month candle on, or 6 months candles on Apple. 1, 2, and then you have a 1, 2. So wave 1 and then wave 2. Then you have a wave 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, and then 5. Then you should, I would wait for a pullback on Apple. This price action is just weird. It's not as clear. PayPal, I from a fundamental standpoint and a value standpoint, PayPal looks really good right now. Time for leaps then. SLS, what is SLS? I want to look at FWDI. That's what I want to look at. Like, yeah, Apple's a good stock, right? Is it Ford Industries? I mean, if this is a Solana treasury, it'll probably do pretty well, but based on this price action right here, it just looks like, you know, it's very choppy, so there's really not a lot to go off of, to be honest. PayPal's an interesting one. So I was looking at PayPal today, actually. And like, it does look like we have a really big impulsive wave 1 with this ABC2. The fundamentals on PayPal look really good. Like the earning per share and everything like that looks really good. I mean, PayPal, my next target would be like 488. That, to me, that just seems a massive move. But, you know, this being the wave 1 with the wave 2, that would make sense. As long as price doesn't retrace lower than this move, it would be like 400. Just buy Solana. Yeah, I would preferably just want to buy Solana over the treasury stock because the chart structure of Solana just looks a lot better. Team Money, Hood. I love Hood right now. Why PayPal never recovered? It's a good question, honestly. There's really not a lot of reason why it shouldn't. Like, the fundamentals look really good. Obviously, they have the stable coin. Like, they got a lot going for the company. If you look at the fundamentals behind it too, like earning per share growth, sales growth, return on equity, like everything has been just up and to the right. But the stock price hasn't continued that move up. And if you look at it on the 3-month, you can kind of see, or the monthly chart, it almost looks like one big A, B, and then A, B, C correction here, which is just a massive move for PayPal. I was actually thinking about buying some PayPal today just because the fundamentals look so good on it. A lot of competition. Yeah, there's a lot of competition too. Like, where does PayPal fit in the market and everything like that? Have you done Bitcoin today? We did a little bit of Bitcoin. Bitcoin still is just waiting for the 5-wave move down. Like, we're just waiting for the 5-wave move down on Bitcoin. Another thing that I want to point out too, when we're looking at these charts, like, not every chart is easy to read. Some of them just look very manipulative and you just can't really tell. Like, Bitcoin's clear. You can see all the waves on it, right? You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in the 5th right now. And of this 5th, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, for example, let me think of a stock that would, like, sometimes when you're looking at stocks, you can't see clear wave movements, and it makes it very hard. With Bitcoin, it's very easy, or it's easier, I should say. So when I'm investing in stocks, like, I don't try to buy everything because, one, it just doesn't make sense. I don't want to be that diversified. But when I invest in things, like, I want to have clear structure on it. With Bitcoin, right, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Super easy to look at, easy to understand. Boom. Let me take a position in this. It's just very clean. But when you look at, let me see. I'll just pull up a random stock. Let's just scroll down. Let's just go to a random stock. I'll just scroll. I don't know. Coherent. I don't know what this company does. Let's look at Coherent. So this is the 3-month chart on Coherent. So when you look at this chart, like, yeah, you could look at the fundamentals, but there's really not clear wave structure on this chart. When you look at this, you're like, all right, I have an initial impulse with an ABC. Okay, what's next? Well, I have this wave 1, 2, then I have this 3, but then the 4 pulls back into the territory of wave 1, so it invalidates this being a 1, 2, 3, 4 move. And then you're like, okay, where does this potentially go next? Well, based on what my structure analysis is, I don't necessarily know because we just don't have clear structure. And then you look at this and you're like, okay, this is a 1, a 2, but then this can't be a 3 and a 4. And then we finally have this structure right here, 1, 2, 3, which is good. But, like, for example, like, I don't know where this stock's going to go. I can invest in it based on the fundamentals at deep discounts, right? If I see this big move up with this big move down and it has good fundamentals, sure, I can take a position in there. But when I look at something like Robinhood on the monthly chart, it's very clean. It's easy to see. And for me, it just gives me more confidence in investing something like Robinhood because I see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave movement. And then on this weekly time frame, you see this ABC movement. So for me, just Robinhood looks better, like a better use of my money, because I just like the structure on it. Did today's manipulations change structure for metals, oils, and indices or not? I mean, I don't necessarily think so. I mean, on SPY, I've always been talking about it on SPY that it was topped. I mean, on SPY, we have a really clean movement. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that comes an ABC. So for me, the risk to reward on SPY, just there's less upside with more downside potential. RBRK, what is that? RBRK. Oh, Rubik. Yeah, see, like this example, like on the monthly, you look at this and say, okay, well, this is a wave 1 with a wave 2, but then this can't be a 3, 4 because it invalidates. So let's go to the daily chart or the weekly chart here. I mean, you kind of have structure here. Like you have a 1, 2, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 3 with this ABC 4 with this 5. So it looks like this is almost like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then this is a big ABC pullback. So I mean, what is this rubric? What does this company do? But I mean, that being said, it's at a really big discount, right? You're between the 0.618 and 0.786. So from a discounting standpoint, it's not bad. Security. And it almost looks like on the weekly, it kind of gives some, let's go to the daily. I want to go to the daily. Because this actually could be a decent one to look at, because you have this sort of wave 1, wave 2. Hold on. Let me look at this on the daily here. This wave 1, wave 2. And then you almost have like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so wave 1, wave 2, and then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3, wave 4, and then this 5 wave move up. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like we have a 1, a 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then a wave 5. That's for me what it looks like on this. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is a big ABC pullback. So with that being the wave count, oh wait, I need to click this tool, hold on. And down here, I mean, my next target on this would be 163 would be my next target on this. Like it's like a tech security. So that's what, 200% gain on this thing. That for me is what structurally what it looks like, just based on this being a 1, 2, and an extended third wave followed by a 4, 5, and this big ABC. That's how I would draw it. PLTR. Yeah, we could do PLTR. This guy has serious ball knowledge. Elliott Wave cycle is the best. I love Elliott Wave. I really do. Investing is hard enough as it is, and for me, just Elliott Wave makes things pretty clear. SLS, here we can look at that. VeChain, I like VeChain from Arista Reward. I really do. SLS, what are we working with here? All right, so we had a huge decline. Why is this price at like 38,000? Would they do like some stock splits or something? I mean, I don't know what this company does or what their fundamentals look like, but to me, this looks all choppy. I mean, you may be starting to have an impulse right here. Like this could potentially be the start of a wave 1. Maybe this is an ABC pullback 2, and then you get the wave 3, but it's really too early to tell. And let me see on the daily. Like you don't really get a lot of structure from this. Like you can't be like, oh, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. I mean, that could make sense. Just such a small pullback for a wave 2. I guess it came down to the 0.236, but that's such a shallow pullback for a wave 2. I mean, yeah, maybe this is a 1, ABC 2, and then you're starting the wave 3 now. So you have the wave 1, 2, and then you should get a 3, 4, 5. That could make sense, but that's the only way that I could draw this up, is this being the 1, the 2, and then you're in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 3, then you get an ABC pullback. That's how I would do it, but after seeing that huge decline, it's kind of hard to say, but it does look like we had a nice impulse with the wave 2 and then wave 3's next. What's up, Katie? How are you? I just texted you another fake account started, and so damn it, there's so many fake accounts. I'm never gonna DM you, I'm not gonna ask you for money. I'm not gonna, do any. There's so many scam accounts, guys, so beware of those. I have my Discord now in my bio, so that is my Discord. Like I set up an actual Discord, but there's apparently a lot of fake accounts trying to steal my shit. So just be wary. Just want to throw that out there. Don't, you know, I don't have a Telegram. I won't request any money. I won't send you my crypto address. Nothing like that. So just don't click on any of that stuff. I appreciate that, Katie. Oh my God, someone with the name King Titty just joined the Discord. Whoever that is hilarious. Yeah, apparently fake accounts are going to appear in Discord. I got to work around that. I got to get some level of like maybe authentication or like some type of thing to eliminate the bots in the Discord. But I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to eliminate as many fake accounts as I can. Let me see here. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. Tao. I like Tao too. Tao actually had a pretty good pretty good wave count. Which was the one that we were looking at, Tao? Was it was USDT. I want to say it was the Mexi one. Yeah. So on Tau, for me, what I have on this is this being the wave 1, this is the wave 2, and then the wave 3. My next target's 1300 for Tau. But yes, I have to work on getting these fake accounts out of Discord. But yeah, Tau looks pretty good. It does look like we have a initial wave 1 with the wave 2, and then we should get a 3, 4, 5, and then a pullback, and then another wave up. But my next larger target is this being the wave 1, the wave 2, and then 1300 is my next target. Nice, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, XRP. I like XRP. I'm personally in XRP since 50 cents, I think, is where I'm in at for XRP. Somewhere around like 50 cents. But my next target on it's about $5.06. I do have XRP making one more lower move down and then moving up between like $5 to $6 is my next target on XRP. And that'll just be the wave 3. So basically we have the wave 1, the ABC pullback 2, the wave 3 towards like $5 or $6. Then we'll get a pullback 4 and then another wave 5 to complete this larger wave 3. That's essentially what I have next for XRP. Love it. XRP to the moon. Yeah, I mean, XRP structurally wise looks pretty good, especially on the monthly time frame. Like this being a massive one with an ABC2 and then $3, like $5 to $6 is next for me. It could extend to the 2.618 too. It's not off the table, so we could extend to about almost $8, $9, which looks really good. You don't think the markets are going to crash in the next 2 months? I mean, I do have, again, like, I do think that with my Bitcoin thesis and sort of tracking Bitcoin now for a good amount of time and monitoring kind of the movements that it has, this 5-wave movement down to complete this structure, wait, let me get the paintbrush. This being the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more leg lower for the 5. This lower leg here could take 1 to 2 months. Like it could take a little bit of time to kind of make its move down. So I think that answers your question, but yes, I do have some more price action going down for Bitcoin, and that could take a month, that could take 2 months. It really just depends on how long the structure takes to develop. But what the structure is suggesting is one more leg down, and then we should see the impulses to the upside. For me, 200K being my target. Where would you open a short on Bitcoin? I mean, personally, the risk to reward on a short right now doesn't make the most sense. I would wait for this bottoming structure first, then open a long down here if you wanted to. I don't really use a lot of leverage or things like that. I mainly just spot buy, just 5x naked short. Bitcoin likes auto markets. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But the better risk to reward is wait for this bottoming zone here, and then if you want to take a long position, then take that and then ride it up. That just for me is the better risk to reward. Solana, I do have one more leg lower on Solana, and then for me, $500 is next on Solana. Bitcoin bottom, 60 to 50K is my next target on Bitcoin. So I'm just waiting on that. I'm not rushing into it. I'm just kind of waiting on Bitcoin to make its move down. There's really no rush. I mean, there's like no rush in it. Well, I mean, like obviously I want price action to there's more price action to the upside, and that for me is just, it may be contrary to most. Like most people don't think we're going to hit that target, but once we start getting these impulses off the lows, price action is going to move pretty quickly, and then we should have one more leg lower on Bitcoin. What is the best resource in your opinion to learn the basics and terminology for trading? So I don't really trade. Like that's the thing. Like I don't trade. I'm an investor. So I don't really do any sort of short-term tradings, anything like that. What kind of cars do you like? Now that is I like old school trucks and old school muscle cars. I like old shit. Like a lot of the new shit's fucking terrible. It's freaking awful, man. All this new shit nowadays is built like crap. The cars have too much electronics in it. They literally just damn. I mean, if you look at all the new cars, all they have in the new Mustang steel, yeah, like a good classic Mustang, a nice old school truck that you can pound into the ground for like 300,000 miles. Every car nowadays just has computer monitors and shit that you put a subscription on, and then the car companies and the insurance companies are working together to just nickel and dime you and take as much money out of your pocket as you can. I don't know. I like old school cars without all the technology. That's my opinion. But a nice old school truck, run that shit into the ground. I love it. But I don't know if I can fit in a Mustang, like an old school Mustang. I'd have to sit in it. That's the thing, because I'm like 6'4", so if I'm sitting in there straight up, my head might hit the ceiling, which could be an issue. Could you show me price action on Bitcoin crash? I'm 6'5". Okay, so if you could fit in it, then yeah, we're both kind of in the same boat then. I mean, for me, this is kind of what the price action was. The ABC, then we have an ABCA, an ABCB, and ABCC for the V wave. And then this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move that I've been tracking. Oh, Bitcoin Cash. Oh, I thought you said Bitcoin crash. Oh, that makes more sense now. What is it? BCH, right? Is that what it is? Bitcoin Cash? Or no. Right? Is it BCH? BCH USD? Let me see. Where's was it? Maybe Binance? No, that one doesn't have really much price action. I don't even know. Is it Bitcoin Cash? BCH? Bitcoin Cash futures, maybe? I mean, I'm not really seeing any price action on here. That's the only thing. Is there another chart that I should be looking at? USTD. Okay. USTD. Maybe this one. I mean, this price action's too choppy. Like 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 declines into there, and then we get this. I just wouldn't touch it right now. That's just me personally. I think the ticker is fart coin. Freaking fart coin, man. I stay away from meme coins. I don't invest in meme coins. But my next targets for Solana are 522. Those are my next targets for oh shit. Yeah, my next targets for Solana, this being the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with this ABC, and then my next targets for Solana are 522. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any opinion on the new Fed chair. I think he's going to be more of a kind of just go in line with policy. I feel like there's going to be less independence, but I could be wrong. That could be the narrative of like he's kind of just going to do whatever Trump wants him to do, but we'll see. I heard that the U.S. crypto reserve being completely just sparkling. Imagine, that'd be insane. Can Wave 2 on larger time frame have an ABC and smaller time frame? Yes. I think I know. Yeah, okay. I think I know what you're saying. So yeah, like this being the larger, ABC Wave 2, but you can see on the smaller time frame, like these are the weekly candles, you can see this sort of ABC structure for the B. So in order for like each move to happen, like the wave B will have a 3-wave move. The wave A and wave C can consist of a 5-wave move or a 3-wave move. It just depends on how it develops. And when it has a 5-wave move, it's a zigzag formation. So you get a 5-wave move down, 3-wave move up, then a 5-wave move down. Or if you get a 3-wave move down, then you get a 3-wave move up, and then a 5-wave move down. Or you get a 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, 3-wave move down. It just really just depends on how the structure comes about. It's like Elliott Wave Theory is a guide, but it's not perfect. Like it's like any trading strategy, right? It has its pros and cons. Like there's nothing that's going to be able to be perfectly accurate. You're going to time every bottom and time every top. For me, this has just been the best strategy to dollar cost average in at deep discounted zones, and then dollar cost average at, tops. When you see sort of wave structure develop, it just gives you more confidence of saying, okay, we're near a top. And like the easiest example I can give you is my next target on Solana is 522, but that's all determinant on the not seeing the price action yet. So when you see the initial price action come out, you'll see like a wave 1, which of this wave 1, it will consist of a 5-wave move up. Then you'll get a pullback for the wave 2, and then you'll get a wave 3, which will consist of a 5-wave move up. And it just like repeats and repeats and repeats. So when you see the initial wave 1 and the 2, you know the 3 is next. So when you get that, say you get a 1, 2, and a 3 that super extends, you know that price action's not done yet because you still need the 4 or 5. So it just allows you to visualize what's next. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, right? Like you can see some charts that just don't abide by it. While it's a great guide, it has its nuances, right? And for me, it's just a way to visualize the market for what it is, and then take a look and say, okay, where are we at? Like, do I have some structure? What do I think is next? All right, I'm at a big discounted level. Now's the time when I might want to start buying, and then here are my next targets, to the upside. What is the bottom of Solana? For me, I have one more leg lower towards like $100 to $70. You like Raptor or T-Rex? Now, these are questions, yes. Wait, do you guys know the game The Isle? Are you guys familiar with the game The Isle? Anyone out there that know that game where you can like play as a dinosaur? I haven't played it yet, but I know it's on PC. I'm picking T-Rex every time. Fuck the Raptor. I don't want speed, I want size. I think that was a question about dinosaurs, or was that a question about a stock called Raptor or TRX? I hope I didn't confuse that. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that game, The Isle. I want to play it at some point. What about Sui? Sui trucks. Oh, well. Now you know my opinion on the game The Isle. But yes, tough question, honestly, with that. The Raptor or the TRX? That's a good question. I'd have to think on that one. I'll get back to you on that one, Sparsh. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that one. Sui actually has pretty good structure too. Like if you look at it on the weekly, you can see some good structure on Sui. You have the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, and then 5, and you have this big ABC pullback. I do have one more dip on Sui towards like 78 cents to 60 cents. And then my next target is $8.70. So that's my next target on Sui. I haven't personally bought Sui yet. If we get a dip to my targets, I'll buy and then wait for the targets up. Yeah, 70 to 100 is my target zone for Solana. Rocket launcher or plasma grenade? Man, catch me back in Halo 3 back in the day with those plasma grenades. I was a menace, just sticking people all the time. That was the shit back in the day. I mean, I loved Halo 3. I love the old school games. All coins are going to dip and then rebound. That's what I hear, so just pick utility. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, you guys see it, right? Because every time Bitcoin drops, right? Like, if Bitcoin drops 5%, most altcoins drop, 10 to 20. So if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to do based on, again, the structure of it, and I could be wrong, but based on the structure, it does suggest more downside. If we go down from current levels to, say, 55, which is, in the middle of 60 to 50K, that's a 22% decline on Bitcoin, right? So we have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. Somewhere at 55K. Do we hit 55K? Do we hit 60? Do we hit 50? It doesn't matter. I'm just cutting in the middle. That's a 20% decline on Bitcoin. Now, if we go back to SUI, for example, for me, my next targets are between 80 cents to 60 cents. Now, if we take that into consideration, if Bitcoin's going to drop 22, say SUI drops 30, well, if we drop 30, that puts us right in between 78 cents and 60 cents. It puts us at 66 cents, which would make sense. So if Bitcoin drops 22, expect SUI to drop 30, and then boom, that's right in my target zone, and then I'll look to pick up some SUI and then ride it up. So while there are nuances to altcoins, right, like it doesn't necessarily have to do that. It's just every time Bitcoin has a huge decline, like 20%, altcoins usually drop like that. There are other ones that hold up better. Some hold up way better than others. Some just absolutely shit the bed. But they're lower market cap. They have higher volatility, so they will see that. Super bounce, baby. Halo. I loved Halo, man. I miss it. There just really hasn't been that many good games out now that can repeat. The Halo 3s, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when that game first came out, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, that was the shit back in the day. Gus, thanks for your time today. Absolutely, Gus. Absolutely. Megalodon? Megalodon's different. PLTR, yeah, we could look at PLTR. PLTR, I think we looked at PLTR on the stream the other day. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, because everything's kind of marked out. So on PLTR, let me get the monthly timeframes out here so we have everything in. Bluebird, what's going on? Thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. Grand Theft Auto? Yeah, I'm curious to see what Grand Theft Auto 6 looks like. But yes, Grand Theft Auto back in the day was good too. But on PLTR, we have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Just the chill dad, join my fan club. Thank you for the hard just the chill dad. I like that username. But we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up on the fib retracement. So far we have retraced to the 0.382. Thank you, Bluebird. That is true. Megalodon was big. That is a good point. And this is why I say part of the strategy, right, guys? You guys hear me say it, and gals, just everyone that's in the stream, you guys hear me say this all the time. Whenever you're looking at assets, typically my strategy, I buy at the 0.382 and then I buy at these levels. So when price after a 5-wave move happens and then we get the retracement, I buy a little bit at the 0.382, buy a little bit at the 0.5, buy a little bit at the 0.618. I just kind of have these as my levels as price declines. I dollar cost in. I don't try to time the bottom perfectly, but I have a strategy that I use to maximize my upside. But also if price continues to move down, I obviously buy at these levels to just lower my cost average and get prices. Now on PLTR, you can see that after this 5-wave move, we had this ABC structure right down to the 0.382, and so far we're bouncing off of it. It held here for a little bit, and then we had a nice bounce off of it. Now on the daily time frame, we'll have to let price action come out and just sort of developed, but it looks like we have a first impulsive wave off these lows followed by this consolidation 2, and then we're waiting for a 3, and then we should get a 4 and a 5. That's what you want to see off of a low, is an impulsive wave. You want to see a big reaction followed by a wave 2 with another big reaction up. That's essentially what I'm waiting for Bitcoin, is once we kind of hit a bottom between 60 to 50K, we should see an impulse with a 2 and then another impulse. For me, PLTR does seem like the bottom is in, just based on that structure, right? We got a big impulse off the 0.382 level, and we're continuing that upward trend up. If price action decides to throw you for a loop, and it can do that, this could be the developing structure of an ABC, then this could be an A wave, B wave, C wave of a larger B, and then you have this ABC wave down lower. It can happen. I'm thinking of a stock that did that I can showcase it. I mean, MSTR kind of had that. So I'm pretty sure MSTR had something like this, just so I can show you what it looks like. So on MSTR, you had this big move up. Let me get this fib down here, and then I'll show you what I mean. So on MSTR, when you look at it on the weekly, you had this move down for MSTR. Obviously, it retraced lower than PLTR, but it nonetheless had the same sort of... Let me get this into the chart here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So on MSTR, for example, you had this A wave, B wave, C wave structure. It can kind of consolidated at the 0.5, whereas PLTR consolidated up here at the 0.382. But you had this A wave, B wave, C wave, chopped around at the 0.5, had this explosion off of the 0.5, but it moved up in a 3-wave move. So you had an A wave, a B wave, a C wave. You didn't have any follow through, any continuation. What does price do? Comes back down. You can see that, right? We came down to the 0.5, came up, and then we're retraced all the way down to the 0.786. Now, let me show you what that looks like on PLTR. So on PLTR, right, it looks similar, right? If you look at it on the weekly chart, it looks a little bit similar to what we just saw with MSTR. Is we have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. On MSTR, we had this A wave, B wave, C wave that came down to the 0.5. On PLTR, we have an A wave, B wave, C wave that chopped around at the 0.382, right? You can see price did what MSTR did, and then we're getting this reaction off of it. What will determine what's next is how this price develops. So if this turns into an A wave, a B wave, and then a C wave, and then that's all you get, you don't get a wave 4 and a wave 5, then what you should expect on PLTR is A, B, C, and then an A, B, C down. How deep that goes will be dependent on, obviously, how price action develops from there. That's why having a strategy and a plan is key, because you don't want to FOMO in, but you want to be in the trade. So that's why when I look at assets like this that have a 5-wave move and a retrace, I buy a little bit at the 0.382, I buy a little bit at the 0.5, and then I buy a little bit at the 0.618. So that if price, for example, does what PLTR does, has an ABC to the 0.382, and then absolutely reverses, when you buy the 0.382, you're in the trade, you don't have to FOMO in later. But if we then have an ABC up and then a correction down to the 0.5, well, guess what? You buy a little bit more, and then you wait for the impulse off of these lows. But what if price does something like this, and you get an A wave, B wave, C wave, and then you get a massive ABC down to the 0.618. Well, you buy here, and then you buy here, you lower your cost average, and then you wait for the move up. But as long as you buy at levels and have a plan, that's kind of the way that I approach it. But PLTR does kind of have a bottoming structure. What will determine how this moves next is if we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then we get an ABC down. That is essentially what you're looking for next on PLTR. You kind of just have to let price action do its thing. And that's why I always say you can't time bottoms perfectly. You just have to have a plan. And for me, it's buying at these levels and then waiting for the move up. Buying stock in adult diapers for when stock crashes, adult diaper futures. Oh, that's funny. Need to see how realistic the strip club gonna be. What's up, Aiden? How are you? Coming in with a banger right off the rip. What's going on? Oh wait, all this stuff. Adobe. What's a good spot entry for MSTR? I'm waiting for like $100 to $75. That's my range. I'm looking to add MSTR. SPY is kind of it's so how PLTR has this wave 5 with this ABC pullback. SPY is up here at the top of the wave 5. What we're waiting for on SPY is an ABC pullback somewhere between the 0.382 to the 0.618. That's what's next on SPY. SBET, what's up, Special K? How are you? VeChain is a good I like VeChain. So another one of my small cap. I do like to add in some high risk, high reward positions to my portfolio too, just to capture some bigger upside. Again, with risk to reward, right? You guys got to remember risk to reward, have a plan, have a structure. For me, this is a wave 1 with an ABC 2. And this is a good example that I can explain for like PLTR. You saw how on PLTR we had the initial ABC move down, and then we're kind of starting the move up. This is a good example of that, how we have an ABC down, then we have an ABC up, and then this next ABC down. So price can morph into that, but it's just about buying at levels, then holding for the long term and avoiding leverage and avoiding things like that. But this was the wave 1, the wave 2, and then my next target for VeChain is 43 cents, which is from current levels. I think it's like a 70x. Yeah, it's a 60x for me on VeChain. I'm only allocating like 1 to 2% of my portfolio on this. I'm not allocating a ton, but risk to reward wise looks pretty good. Netflix, can you confirm my theory on Netflix? Yeah, Drew, yeah, we can look at Netflix. VeChain, I do think we have one more leg lower for VeChain, just with my Bitcoin thesis. Ethereum. We did Ethereum yesterday. Ethereum looks pretty good too. Ethereum looks on Ethereum. We have a 5-way move, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this ABC correction down, and then we're kind of in the next phase right now. So all of this is corrective until we have this first impulse of 1. This was the impulse of 1, the 2, and the 3. My next target on Ethereum is 7,300. Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, we got to jump over to Netflix. AOS. I love AOS. I'm picking up some AOS too. AOS and VeChain are my next 2 crypto buys that I'm looking to add. AOS, VeChain. I just bought some NEO, and then I also bought. I'm looking to buy some MSTR. I think I was looking at Netflix the other day. Where's Netflix? Yeah, I was looking at. Or no, we did that on stream. I think the other day on Netflix. Yes, I think. Yeah, so for me, Netflix had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way movement with this ABC pullback to, I think it was the 0.5. Yeah, we pulled back right to the 0.5, and then we're seeing a bounce off of that. So again, that's why having a strategy. My next target on Netflix is 266. But the only challenge with Netflix is, again, it looks like we have sort of a kind of like PLTR, right? You have this A wave, B wave, C wave, and then you're bouncing off of these lows. What's going to be determinant on what's next is this being a wave 1, wave 2, and then we should see a 3, 4, 5. That's kind of what I'm waiting to see, because we had this huge gap up and then this retrace. You know, is this an A wave, B wave, and a C wave, and then we start a next move down? Or is this a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, 4, 5? You kind of just got to play the waiting game with Netflix. But my next target on it is, let me see here. Did I do this on the larger time frame too? Yeah, we had this big decline, and then even I want to see what the 6-month looks like on Netflix. Yeah, I mean on the 6-month, it looks like we have the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 with this decline. Then we're starting the next move up. And then if you look at the monthly candles on Netflix, we already have the initial 5-way move. So the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, then we're in the ABC pullback right now. We did bounce perfectly off of the 0.5. So, I mean, it's like to the number, we bounced right off the 0.5 fib retracement, which is a deep discount for wave 2. And then this being the wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 should be next. The only thing that's going to shape what this does next is this being an A wave, B wave, C wave. Do we get an ABC up to the top and then another ABC down to like the 0.618? Or is this the ABC pullback and then we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up? So we just got to let price action play out and do its thing. But that's why having a strategy and buying in at these zones is great, because you can see with Netflix, we pumped down to the 0.382, then we went down to the 0.5. Those are 2 buying areas. You buy a little bit here, buy a little bit here, you lower your cost average, and then what do you get? A nice bounce off of it. So you're in profit. You calling out when you're buying? Oh, EOS and VeChain? Yeah, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to dip first, and then I'll be allocating. So I haven't touched EOS or VeChain yet. Once Bitcoin makes its move to 60 to 50K, that's when I'll start taking a position in EOS and VeChain. Is XRP cooked? No, my next target on XRP is $5 to $6. I don't use any AI. I personally just don't like AI trading. I prefer just doing it myself. But again, it's all about risk management and strategy. You can't time these things perfectly. You can never know where the market's going to go in 100% certainty. Like, yes, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an ABC pullback. The only thing that you don't know is if this is an ABC of a larger wave A, and then this is an ABC of a larger wave B with another ABC down. That's why having a strategy and buying at key levels is important. Solana. Yeah, Solana looks... We just did Solana, but it hasn't changed. Solana, one more wave down for Solana, and then 522 is my next target. What's up? Is that Becker? What's going on? VRT? 522 is my next target on Solana. Is that Veritiv? Roll Tide, what's going on? How are you? I haven't seen you in a bit. How are you doing? When do you see $5 or $6 in XRP? It's hard to tell. Like, I don't trade or invest based on time. I get this question all the time is, when do you think it's going to happen? Is this, 6 months to a year? Is this 2 years? Is this 3 years? Like, how long? I get the question all the time. It's very hard to answer because you can never time the market, obviously, to the perfect percentage. You don't necessarily know when these moves are going to happen. When Bitcoin enters its next phase, when Ethereum enters its next phase, and altcoins enter their next phase, they're going to move very rapidly because they're very undervalued, so they're going to reprice. But it's really hard to tell time. Like, there's no telling, honestly, when it's going to happen. I know that people on Twitter and X or whatever like to throw out these theories of, hey, this is going to be, a 6-month trade or a year trade, or, this is going to happen in 2026. I mean, everyone was thinking 2025 was going to be this huge, run-up year because of the 4-year cycle. But as price action unfolded on Bitcoin, it didn't have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up. It had an ABC move up. And when I was looking at that, I'm like, well, that's not an impulsive move. That's a corrective move. We should see a correction down, which is what we're currently in. So you can never really tell. I try to look at positions based on their fundamentals, based on what they're doing. Does it have real world application for stocks specifically? Looking at their earnings per share growth, their sales growth, their management, like just doing some fundamental analysis, just basic stuff, right? Not anything too in depth. And then looking at the chart and saying, okay, based on the chart, where are we at? Like for Veritiv, for example, it looks like we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're currently in the 5. Then we should expect an ABC pullback lower. Diving into this on the weekly, we can look at the 5th wave and see kind of where we're at. The structure is a little bit less clear. This kind of looks like a wave 1 with a 2, and then this looks like a 1, 2, 3. We should get a 4, 5 of a 3, then a wave 4, then a 5. So it looks like this is extended wave 3 almost. You know, this being, well, hold on. I don't even know if I would consider this a wave 1, because that's like right off of the token, like right off of the IPO. So I don't even know if I would consider that. I mean, maybe you could consider that. It just, the price action looks, I mean, yeah, maybe wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. You have a 2, and then you have this next 1, 2, or no, this being the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5. Then you have this big A, B, C pullback. Then on this structure, let's see, I want to zoom in a lot on this one. It almost looks like you have a 1, a 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a 3. Then, okay, so this thing actually just looks like an extended third wave, which is good because that means price is going to continue going up. Actually, let me go back to that. My next target on it would be, I'm curious if we're already there. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of approaching the 1.618 and price is already kind of rejecting off of that level. So this being the wave 1, the wave 2, then you have a 1, 2, 3, then a 4, 5 of a 3. So structurally wise, you kind of have a 1, a 2, a 3 up here, a 4, and a 5. It does look like we're kind of topping here. The question is, of this current third wave, you know, how many sub waves do we have of it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it looks like this wave 3 has some upside limited. Expect a wave 4 pullback, and then a wave 5. And the key levels I'd be paying attention to on this pullback would be anywhere from like 227 to 196. The high probability target is 227. So you'll have this 1, 2, 3, a pullback here, and then another wave up. Then you'll have a wave 4, and then a wave 5. So this thing's got a lot more room to run. But the initial, based on what I'm seeing, kind of the price rejecting at that 1.618 level, you probably expect a pullback, and then one more wave up. Then you get a pullback 4, and then one more wave up. That's essentially what's next. That's awesome. That's freaking fantastic. I love to hear it. That's the goal, man. That is the goal. But yeah, I mean, this thing has got definitely some room to run for sure. And then once we get that, this being the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, and then we're currently in the 5th. And of that, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of structurally like that. How do you treat a stock when it passes the 0.618? Just as a deep discount. It's just a really deep discount. Like MSTR did that. So on MSTR, you can look at that one, and it's at the 0.786 right now. And I do have one more leg lower, but it's just a really deep discount. It does happen. It doesn't necessarily have to bounce at the 0.382 to the 0.618, but it's just a very big discount. I bought in it $11 a share on VRT. Been investing heavy in it since 2020 when they went public. That's freaking phenomenal. That's awesome. I love to hear stories like that. What about 3M? I actually used to work for a competitor of 3M. Where is 3M? What's their symbol? What's 3M symbol? What's your Telegram then? I don't have a Telegram, so I don't have any Telegrams. I do have a Discord, but it's in... If you go to my profile, there's my link tree in there, and my Discord's in there. So you can feel free to join the Discord. I don't have a Telegram. I don't know what 3M stock is. Private beta Discord. No, it's not private. It's public. You can join. Well, you gotta have the link, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's not public. SMCH. I was actually looking at SMCH had a huge decline, and I'd be curious to look at the chart structure on it. Nope. Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like on this, we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a pullback 4, and then we should expect a 5. But looking at it on the monthly, let's see what this structure looks like. On, is it Smeechy? How do you say that? Let's see. I mean, this thing ran up a shit ton. This is definitely a 4. This right here is definitely a 4-5. Now we're just trying to determine where the 1-2 is. Or the 1-2-3. I mean, actually, this might be the 1-2-3-4-5 wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. That actually might be the wave count, because this doesn't look... That, to me, looks like the wave count. So... Because we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, wave 2. Then we have this being the wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Yeah, that looks like the wave count because this looks like an ABC move up. That doesn't look impulsive. So with that being said, I mean, we've already retraced this whole move being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 0.786. So from a discount standpoint, that's at a huge discount. And if this is a massive 5-wave move, and then we're currently here, you know, the next target on that's about 217. This being the massive wave 1 with the wave 2, and then the wave 3 is next. So 217 being the next target. I don't know too much about this stock on a fundamental basis, but oh yeah, the co-owner was arrested. That was right. Yeah, didn't you do like some sort of embezzlement or fraud or some shit? I thought I saw a tweet like that. But structurally wise, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have this big ABC pullback to the 0.786. Now, I don't know what this smuggling. Yeah, it was smuggling AI chips. That's right. Which, you know, looking at, they'll probably rebound from it. You know, we've seen companies have, you know, shitty news before, and that actually drives these big discounts. But you know, a next target for this would be the 1.6 we need at 200. So you basically have this structure being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to about 200. What time is it? Is it 7:30? 7:30? Yeah, I was about to eat dinner here soon. So let's do a couple more. And then I'm probably going to go eat dinner. Rivian? Yeah, Rivian to me just doesn't have structure. It's just too new. There's just a big decline and we're waiting for impulses. Until Rivian shows us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the low, there's really not a lot to do with it. I mean, fundamentally, you could say this is a big discount, but fundamentally wise, I personally would look at NEO, just because it has structure. So for me, NEO has this being the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Massive correction. We've already had an impulse off the low, which are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here in white. We had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move off the low, followed by a 2, and then we're in the 3. My next target on NEO is 93. Axelar. I think we looked at Axelar before. For me, Axelar is just too new. And there's just not enough, like, if you look at Axelar, right, there's just not really much to go off of. You have this sort of ABC structure. Until we see some impulses off the low, there's really not much to do with it, unfortunately. But RCAT? What's RCAT? RCAT. Oh, Red Cat? I think we looked at this before. Maybe we didn't. I don't remember. Let's see. Red Cat. So this to me looks corrective. This whole structure back here. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that. We do look to have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and then this wave 2. The only question is, how far did this retrace? This retraced again to the 0.618, then we're bouncing up. The only question is this doesn't look like an impulsive wave, which makes me wonder if this is an ABCA, this is an ABCB, and then we see an ABCC. But this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're in the fifth. So that could be the sign of the bottom. But we do have a nice impulse to wave off the low. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Now, if you would have invested back here at the 0.618 retrace, the next target on this is $28 on Red Cat. The next target would be $28 on this, meaning this is the wave 1, the wave 2 pullback to the 0.618, and then the wave 3 to the 1.618 at $28. That for me is what's next. The only question is this an A wave, B wave, and then we see a C wave down, and then we see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up? That really is what's going to determine what's next for Red Cat. But structurally wise, again, this is why I say having a strategy is so important. You could have identified this 5-way move up, and then as this thing did its ABC, look at the levels you would have bought at. You would have bought at the 0.382 right here, the 0.5, the 0.618. It went a little bit lower. It didn't get to the 0.786, which is like, for me, a last resort buy. Not a last resort buy, but like, you buy a little bit more here as these things come down. And then you would have had 3 buy zones at the 0.32, the 0.5, the 0.618. You would have been loaded up. And then boom, price went all the way up to, $15, had a deep retrace, and then we're kind of bouncing again. But, what would your cost average have been? $9 to $6. You probably would have been somewhere around maybe $7 to $8. You would have already hit 100%, even with just that initial bounce. What are the colored lines? These are Fibonacci retracements. That's part of the strategy I use, is the Fib retracement tool. So my strategy is wait for a 5-way move up and then dollar cost average between the 0.382 to the 0.618, and then wait for the next move up. That's my my whole strategy. All right, I'll do BMNR as the last one, and then I'm gonna go eat dinner because my wife made fajitas, so I'm excited for a little fajita action. Because I am very hungry, and it's what, 7:30? Yeah, we did a long stream yesterday. I think we went to like 9:30, so today I'm a little tired. But we did XPL yesterday, I thought, right? Didn't we do XPL yesterday? All right, we'll end with Cosmosis. We'll end with Cosmosis Atom, and then we'll pick it back up tomorrow, same time. But for me, this is a wave 1 with a wave 2, and then the wave 3 is next for BMNR. My next target is 269 on BMNR. So we should wait for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement up towards 269. Atom looks to be an interesting one. So it had a really big move up and a really big move down. But again, Cosmosis, which I might actually add this to my portfolio given how much of a discount, and the next target is let me make sure. $71 on Cosmosis. So this would being the wave 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5 with this massive ABC correction. The next target for me on Cosmosis is $71, which is a 38x from current prices, which is just a massive move. I think that's right. Yeah, towards 71. Yeah, that's a 38. Wait. No. Yeah, right? You move the decimal point twice. Yeah, 38x on Cosmosis is structurally what I have next. What interval? These are monthly candles. So this is monthly candles. So we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and then wave 3 is next for Cosmosis. And for me, the next target is $71. And we're currently at... Wait, that don't make... Yeah, we're currently almost at $2. I do think that Cosmosis probably might have one more dip. Again, with my Bitcoin thesis, if Bitcoin goes down 20%, expect Cosmosis to see, anywhere from a 10 to 30% drop from current levels. But the next target for me is like $71. But that, I think I'm going to end with the live because I am getting hungry and it's already 7:30, so I'm a little late to dinner as it is. But I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. to 6:30 Eastern time. We'll pick up Tau. My next target on that Tau is 1300 is my next target on Tau. So we found a couple good ones today. You know, I'll be back same time tomorrow. So same time. If you guys want to join the Discord, I'm working on building it out. It's still early. I just set it up today, so working on building out the different channels. But right now, I think I just have the general chat in there. So if you want to join the community, my Discord link is in my, like, anywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. In the bio, I have my link tree in there. And if you hit that, it'll bring you to the Discord. So feel free to join that. I'll be posting a lot of stuff in there, you know, once I get all the channels built out. And then anything that I do from like a short-term trading standpoint or anything like that, I might post like my thoughts in there, or, you know, some charts or things like that. So I'm working to get the Discord built out, but feel free to join it if you want to be a part of it. If not, no worries. I'll just go live and feel free to join the lives. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate the time today. I will see all of y'all tomorrow, and we'll see what price action brings over the next week. I'm just being patient with Bitcoin. It's still just in chop zone. Until we see the final drop down, we're just in a waiting period. That, for me, is just what's next. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night. And, yeah, same time tomorrow. And then for those of you that are on Twitch, YouTube, I will see all of y'all tomorrow.